Hey everyone out there, my name is Dee, and look, I want to tell you today about a book that I recently read, and I'm not one to normally give book reviews, especially video book reviews. There's a lot of reasons for that, but mostly just because as an author myself, I'm not really sure if I'm even really qualified to tell anyone out there what book they should read or not. And I know that might sound weird, but this book particularly struck me as a very interesting read, definitely a read that's outside of my comfort zone of reading because it's not something I would normally read. I was given this book by a friend and I checked it out, and I gotta tell you, I absolutely loved it. The book is called Gifted, and it is Gifted, the Story of a Young Genius. That would be the full title if in case you want to go look it up on Amazon, which you should do. And it was written by a man named Nishad Cote. Now, I'm probably pronouncing the author's name wrong, so all apologies to the author if that's the case. I'm just going to call him Nishad. But anyways, the story really is about a younger teenage child who is exceptionally gifted. He's around 14 years old, and he's bored. He's isolated from most of the people at the public school. A lot of his peers he can't connect with. He gets a letter from a very prestigious academy, and he wants to improve himself. So, he goes through all these emotional growth moments, because the academy is a whole new world for him. And all of a sudden, he's among people that are intellectually his equal. He has subjects of study that's interesting to him. He's got a roommate who actually wants to be his friend, scholastic competition to study for. He's even got a girl that he is sort of into. But his biggest challenge, and this is why I like the book, is that he has to compete with the biggest issue of all in his life, himself, because he's not sure about anything. And to try to create and change his whole entire personality to fit being in a place where his genius is the norm. It's a very interesting and compelling read for that reason. Now, the reason why I connected to it is because I was similar to the character in this book, in that I was definitely in a lot of classes when I was in high school that I felt like I'm not saying I was bored by them, but maybe perhaps I was wanting more of a challenge. And don't get me wrong, I certainly was very busy, very much had to study every second of the moment because I was in all the advanced classes, but it just felt like I wanted to do a lot more with my life. And maybe if I had been accepted to an academy, much like Jack, the character of this book, did, I might have had a whole different outcome in my life. Not saying my life is bad by any means, but it's just that I wonder where my mind would have developed and how fertile my intellectual endeavors might have been had I been challenged a lot more on a gifted level, I guess you could say. So this book is really fun. It's a good read, especially if you are in a gifted class and you're a young person. This is a youth adult fiction novel, so it's something that even I think older people like myself can understand and enjoy, reflecting back on when I was the age of Jack and in school, and the whole world is just so frightening and scary because I'm still learning about the world and didn't know everything. I mean, how you get older, you think you know everything, but then you realize you don't know anything. But when you're 14, that fact that you don't really know anything, it's either completely lost on you, or it's a crushing feeling that makes you realize there is so much out there and you're this big. So this book, Gifted, kind of invokes all of those feelings and then some. Now, the author himself, I believe is somebody who was gifted. He's a British author. He grew up in London and was definitely a very huge, outstanding student in his own right. Has done a lot of things in his life, including played in a lot of youth orchestras. He's won athletics championships. He was one of the top 50, I believe, in the UK National Mathematics Contest. I mean, this guy clearly he drew upon his own life to write about Jack, because my feeling is that this book is more autobiographical than the author would probably even care to admit. But at the same time, that's not a bad thing. I mean, when we write from what we know, and Jack is certainly, I believe, very much an extension of Nishad's personality, which I absolutely adore and love and appreciate, because you can tell that this book was written with a lot of sincerity and a lot of genuine passion. Nishad has come through a lot of difficult times in his life, including developing a very debilitating autoimmune illness. And, I guess in a way that's good for all of us. I'm trying to look at this in a positive vein because now he devotes himself to writing and meditating and just making himself a very much central person in the universe of creativity that he dwells in, if I could put it creatively myself. So, anyways, I probably said enough about this. I want you to check this book out. You can check it out on Amazon, where you can find it there. It was released September 2015, but don't let that scare you by any means. I think often we find books on Amazon or in bookstores that might have been out for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and they'll feel just as fresh and just as relative to your life experience as if it was written today or the day before. And Gifted is definitely one of those books. So check it out today. I guarantee you're going to like it. Again, I don't do book reviews that often, but I do feel that it was important to write about this one because I felt it really hit home. And also, too, it's just a good read. It's very well written, as to be expected from a gifted author. So, again, this is called Gifted, the story of a young genius. Check it out today on Amazon. And it was written by the author Nishad Cote. And again, apologies for probably butchering the author's name. However, you're going to love this book. It's a great read, and I think you will all really appreciate it. So, best of luck to all of you out there looking for great books. Pick up Gifted today. It's one of the good ones. All right. Have a good one, guys, and take care.